all right, I had some people tell me that I'm a big meanie head and I use the urban carry wrong, and so boo-hoo, and they're frustrated at me that I did it wrong, and so this isn't as bad as I thought. So let's do what they said. I'll put it on and I'll show you why this is still a wretched, pulsating ball of suck and fail. Let's do it again, part 2. Want to be a better defensive shooter in 2018? Join the ASP Dry Fire Challenge by joining our Facebook group and by subscribing to the Active Self-Protection Extra channel for weekly lessons on getting better with your defensive firearm. So the first thing that everyone said is, well, I was using it wrong. It's supposed to be folded over and your belt goes in here and then the top goes around like this. And so because of that, see what happens is that's how it holds your gun. And okay, sure, it holds it while the belt is sucking this in. But again, if I leave enough room for the gun to come out between my body, I leave this space open. Otherwise, guess what? If this is sitting here like this, then I can't draw past it. I have to move this over, so that leaves this open. Now, this is a Glock 43 that I have in here, very small gun. It's been unloaded, but I just want to be careful with it. So God forbid I drop trowel, I go to the bathroom, something like that, then guess what happens? I go, doink, the gun drops right out of it. Now, supposedly in the G2 model, they put a big old magnet in there that prevents that. Well, that's a good thing, but that's the least of the problems here. It's just one small one. So, okay, I'll put it on, and then we'll see how badly it sucks. Now, I want you to see kind of how I have to put this on. Generally, I carry appendix, so I carry my buckle on the left. That's neither here nor there, but I don't want to take this belt all the way off, and you don't want to see me do all that. So, there's this. That goes through there. Then my buckle. Okay, fine. I'm going to leave this real loose so that we're not saying that I've carried it too tightly, right? Okay, great. Now, let's bring that around. That's where it's going to end up. But for now, let's take this up and through, and then we got to put this down the pants. Now these pants are not overly tight. I have plenty of room in these pants. These pants are not tight pants. I'm not pulling a Jimmy Fallon here, and everybody ain't talking about my tight pants, okay? Okay, so that's there, that's there. Let's get this sucker kind of settled in like it's supposed to. Okay, fine. I'm gonna leave the belt out just a little bit so then that way you can see I'm not over-tightening things. Look at that. Does that look concealed to you? Does this like, oh man, that's fantastic concealment? No, the top of the gun is pushing in, which pushes the rest of it out. And goodness sakes, I look like Ron Burgundy and Anchorman. You know, I've got this thing sticking out of my pants here. You know, is that an urban carry in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Now, if I tuck my shirt, right? So I've got a tucked in shirt because I work in a professional environment or whatever. Obviously, I wouldn't wear this kind of belt with it. But again, somebody sees this. This doesn't look like a cell phone. This looks like something weird. Be like, what the heck is that? I could lie about it, I guess, and go, oh, it's my insulin pump or something weird, but I don't like to lie. So this is very obvious to me. It's not deeply concealed. It doesn't look like a gun. It doesn't outline like a gun. But it definitely looks like something. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw this gun. Now I have to reach over here and get this, and this is a fairly small thing. If I miss this by a ½ inch high, I'm in trouble. But let's just say I get it. Now I gotta pull this all the way up. Thankfully, I got it this time, but look, as I come in here, look at how little space I have. I can't get my fingers around this gun in order to draw it. And so what I have to do is I have to really yank on it really high, and then get the gun out some, and then build my grip. That is a failure of the test. You cannot get a full firing grip on this gun, therefore you cannot draw it in an emergency, which is why you carry a gun. Fail. Okay, next, let's work on seated draw, because again, you're not gonna get to draw. I just barely got it to draw if everything was set correctly. If my belt was a little bit tighter, I would have a hard time. Next thing is that, gosh man, people say, oh, you can draw it one-handed. Can you? If I go there and then they say I dig down under here, what I have to do to get in there is I have to dig with my fingers. I gotta kind of like this down with my fingers. Impossible to get a one-handed grip, number one. Number two, I can't get my fingers around the gun. Start pulling it up. Guess what that feels like? My trigger finger going into the trigger guard. Fail. Next, if I gotta move it all, if I gotta actually do anything, and I'm not just standing still like on a paper range, beep, off we go. If I am, for instance, if I'm worried about my family, and even if I take a big step back like this and I'm worried about that stuff, that might give me the ability. What if I have to take a step back and this leg happens to be forward? If this leg is forward, I've kicked this forward and now it ain't coming out, no matter how hard I pull on it. Here's the worst is sitting down. God forbid if I have to pull a gun in a seated position. This may not just be in a chair like this, but you might be at a restaurant, you might be in your car, in any number of situations. Now I sit down, and number one, this thing digs into me. I gotta kind of adjust it and get a spot for it. Holy cow. Number two, very uncomfortable here. In fact, as a guy who carries a gun appendix, I find this urban carry far more uncomfortable than my concealed carry everyday holster. And then there's this physics problem because I have this gun that's sitting like this and it won't contour to my body. It's one solid piece of metal that has to angle through and literally, it's everything I have with both hands and the stupid gun will not draw. So if I'm gonna do it, I gotta kind of like this, I gotta maybe pull this way, and then I still have that whole finger around the gun problem. Now, I got the gun out, right? Okay, cool, I fought with it, bang, bang, bang. Now guess what? I gotta be able to put the stupid gun away. And I got this floppy thing sitting here, cool. Now you might say, well, it's a defensive encounter, John. I don't really care about putting the gun away, but you might care about putting the gun away. In fact, hopefully in an ideal defensive encounter, I dealt with all the bad guys, and then nobody on my crew is hurt. However, what happens if one of my crew is hurt? I gotta put this gun away in order to get to my med kit to start helping them with their medical problems. We gotta get the heck out of there. I may not wanna run with a gun in my hand, so now I gotta put it away. With this guy here, now I gotta bring this back up. I gotta dig it back in there. Then I gotta stuff it down my pants, put that on. Now I can go do what I wanna do. That is not an effective holster. So the G2 might have a magnet. I don't care. It might have a clip instead of the through the belt thing. I don't care. It is the design itself to stick underneath your belt like that fails on every level. It is a wretched, pulsating ball of suck and fail. And now I have shown that the gun can come out when you don't want it to, and it will not come out when you need it to. It is not an effective holster, guys. I'm not selling holsters, and I'm not making any money on holster sales. I'm not trying to sell you a holster. I'm trying to get you to consider choices that help you with your defensive set. And so guys, listen to me, please. Do not buy an urban carry. It is a wretched, pulsating ball of suck and fail.